Sometimes letting it out can make a big difference. Oh, yes. And sometimes you gotta let your heart speak. You gotta let your heart speak. You gotta let it out. No matter what you're going through. Yeah. I know how you feel. I know it's hard to reveal. But let your heart speak. Sex, they say no. Yes, Joe, love knows. Joe, the pain goes, love knows. It's Joe, the pain goes, love knows.
Honesty is important to keep relationships going. But some say there are truths that are better left unsaid, because they are more destructive than helpful. So when do we painfully become honest and tell the truth to a friend? And when do we just keep silent to keep someone we love from getting hurt by it? Hi, this is Joe the Mango. This is the story of Ellen. Hello and welcome to another episode of Love Notes. Dear Joe, just call me Ellen. I'm 23 years old and I work for a company in Makati. I never thought I would be writing to ask for your advice, but here I am, not asking for myself, but for my friend Marvin. We were in our first year in college when Sheila, a friend I've known since high school, told me he had a crush on this guy named Marvin. Joe, right from the start, Sheila knew that it was only a one-way thing since Marvin doesn't even know her. However, she kept on wishing that she could meet him personally and someday be more than friends with him. So I took the courage to befriend Marvin and introduce him to her. But it was just a hi and hello thing and nothing else happened for the next 2 years. Sheila eventually had a relationship with Anthony, a young man she met during our senior year, who she said yes to simply because he looked very much like Marvin. Anthony and Sheila were clearly happy during the first few months of their relationship, and Sheila was very much into him. Joe, it was during Sheila's on and off relationship with Anthony that Marvin and I became very, very close. He confessed to me that he had feelings for Sheila even before I introduced them to each other. And I just kept this information from Sheila. But Joe, when Marvin learned about their breakup, he mustered his strength to let her know how he truly felt for her. Although I really wondered if Sheila was already prepared to get into another relationship. Marvin continued to keep me updated with stories of his going out with Sheila. He told me that Sheila would kiss him goodnight every time he brought her home, which made him think they had something special going on between them. It was hard for me to be really honest with Marvin, Joe, because I knew Sheila was also entertaining another guy at the same time. After college, Marvin and I continued our communication, and eventually he told me that Sheila and him were officially going out together. While I was happy for the both of them, even if it seemed that Marvin was the only one willing to make the relationship work, I somehow felt that it was just a one-sided relationship. This is why I was shocked when Marvin told me one day that he and Sheila were getting married. I had my reservations, but I was genuinely happy for them. Just the other day, I received an invitation from Sheila. I excitedly opened it, Joe, and to my extreme shock, it wasn't Marvin's name written on it. I called Sheila to ask her if she was joking, and judging from the excitement in her voice, I knew she wasn't. I wanted to scream angrily at her and ask her how she could have the nerve to do that to Marvin, who I know deeply loves and cares for her. If we were talking face to face, Joe, I think I could have even slapped her. What hurts me the most was that she didn't seem to care about Marvin's feelings, and I don't think she even plans to tell him about all of this. Marvin and I met soon after that conversation, and he was so excited about their wedding. He even told me he was going to ask Sheila to get me as one of her bridesmaids. Joe, I just stood there silently in front of Marvin, trying to figure out what to say, in complete disbelief on how Sheila could have done this to him. I don't know what to do. A month from now, Sheila is getting married to someone else. How is Marvin going to take all of this? He loves Sheila so much. I don't think Sheila even has plans of being honest with him about all of these things. Joe, should I break the news to Marvin, or should I wait for Sheila to tell him? I feel like I'm betraying Marvin for keeping silent. And now, I am caught between pretending I know nothing and telling him the truth that I know will break his heart into pieces. Joe, I'm also confused because I'm beginning to have mixed feelings for Marvin lately. I don't know if I just pity him or if I'm beginning to like him more than a friend. Thank you for reading this letter. Please help me find some meaning in all of these. Sincerely yours, Ellen. Ellen, I know that Sheila has placed you in a very sensitive position. Whether she did it intentionally or not, she has somehow transferred the responsibility of letting Marvin know that she is marrying someone else to you. I just couldn't understand how Marvin could have been so naively kept in the dark when Sheila was openly working on her own wedding and even manages to give you an invitation with someone else's name on it. Ellen, your friend may be playing a game on you, and you have to discern carefully how you should move forward with this. As for Marvin, first, I truly believe in being honest with our friends. Honesty is the foundation of trust, and trust is very important in any relationship. Without trust, relationships cannot truly flourish. If Marvin is really a friend, then you have to be honest with him. But first, you have to really check your heart and your real intention for telling him. Set aside whatever it is that you feel for him and be compassionately honest with him because he is your friend. I'm saying this because I sense that this special concern for Marvin may mean something deeper than just caring for a friend. And honestly, I think there's nothing wrong in feeling this way, whether this is on a level of friendship or love. It's just that now is not the time for you to entertain any romantic feelings for Marvin or for anyone. When Sheila gave you her invitation, she knew that she faced the risk of Marvin finding out the truth. She knew you could tell Marvin her secrets, and that is probably what she wanted you to do. So I believe it is best to talk to Sheila about this before letting the coffee spill from your cup. If she really is getting married to someone else and she doesn't have any plans of telling Marvin, then as a friend, you may, while setting aside your feelings, tell Marvin yourself and show him the invitation as proof. If you do it with a pure heart, you wouldn't have to carry the guilt of hurting him because he is bound to know the truth sooner or later and live with the pain of being betrayed by the woman he loves. I know it may not be easy as it always seems, but telling the truth for me is always the better choice. Even if it means someone gets hurt by it, or someone gets angry at you, at the end of the day, it is your moral conviction that will dictate your actions. Let us always remember that friendship without honesty cannot last. Trust is one of the most important ingredients in any relationship. When we trust someone, it also means that we believe in our heart that person will not intentionally hurt us, even if it seems that way. Ellen, this masquerade will have to come to its close sooner or later. In the end, Sheila will be married, Marvin will be devastated, and you would be hurt seeing him that way. The pain will linger, and your wounds will hurt, but there will always be a place for healing and a time to move on. And I sincerely hope that Marvin will still have you to stand by him after all of this is through. Love, even in all its color and splendor, can still cast a storm in our lives and sometimes cause great emotional destruction. Let us always remember that there is no love without pain. There is no reward without sacrifice. In the end, it is important to stand firm for what we believe is right, and let us not live behind the mask of a lie, because just one lie can make all the truths questionable. True friends, remember this, will respect you for telling them the truth, no matter how hard it is. And they will remain your friends, even if you break their hearts with it. I have learned things in my life, Ellen, through the many mistakes that I made in the past. And what I realized is this: when all the emotions settle down in any situation, the people who will matter in the end are not the ones who cared enough to lie to you to keep you from getting hurt. Who will matter in the end are those who respected you enough to tell you the truth, even if it hurts, and those who love you enough to stay and see you through your pain. Till next Tuesday, this is Joe the Mango saying have a beautiful and blessed week. See you again next Tuesday.
Sometimes letting it out can make a big difference. Oh yes. And sometimes you gotta let your heart speak. You gotta let your heart speak. You gotta let it out. No matter what you're going through. Yeah. I know how you feel. I know it's hard to reveal. But let your heart speak. 6 days sing it. Yes, Joe's not knows. Joe's pain goes not known. It's Joe.